Hello and welcome everyone. After watching Zack Snyder Justice League, we might think Darkseid is just too OP to be killed, but that's not true. He can be killed, but how? In this video, we will exactly find out that. So before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will never miss an upcoming update. With that out of the way, let's get started with the video.
Life is found Assad, and we will stop at nothing to possess it.
Darkseid is incredibly powerful due to his new god physiology, which also makes him immortal, so once again we're tasked with killing an immortal being. His strength is nearly immeasurable, and he's been able to throw punches that dealt damage to some of DC's strongest characters, most notably Superman, but also Captain Atom and even Eclipso, who rivals the Spectre in terms of power. Darkseid's durability is also at a ridiculous level, and he had survived an explosion that was said to be able to destroy all of the reality. Now, Darkseid's primary offensive weapon is his ability to wield the Omega effect, which he most often uses in the form of Omega beams, usually to devastating effects. The Omega beams are inescapable and potent enough not only to deal substantial damage to Superman but even harm the Spectre. Darkseid can also use the Omega effect to create the Omega Sanction, which traps his opponents in an endless stream of successively worse lives, constantly dying and being reborn into more miserable circumstances for all of eternity. It's pretty brutal stuff. He also possesses vast telepathic ability, telekinesis, matter manipulation, and possesses incredible intelligence. So we have to use some sort of weakness to our advantage. Does this effectively immortal, nearly all-powerful villain have any weaknesses? Is it even possible to kill him? The answer is yes. In fact, he has died multiple times throughout his history. One of these instances that we can look to for inspiration occurred during the final crisis, when Batman shot Darkseid with a bullet made of a substance called radion. Now, while we don't really know much about radion in terms of where it came from or what its properties are, one thing we do know is that it is harmful to the new gods, and can be lethal in certain circumstances. For instance, the new god Orion, who's actually the biological son of the Darkseid, was killed by a bullet made of radion, and later Batman hit Darkseid with the same bullet that nearly killed him. Shortly after he's mortally wounded by the bullet, Darkseid is visited by the Black Racer, who functions as the Grim Reaper of the new gods, showing up when they die to collect their souls. Now, originally the Black Racer was chasing Barry Allen and Wally West to collect them, but they redirect his attention to Darkseid, and he completes the job of killing him. So just from this one instance, we can see two possible ways to take Darkseid out, in the form of radion as well as the Black Racer. And while these two things worked in tandem to kill Darkseid of the final crisis, I think that either one of them on their own would be sufficient to get the job done. In fact, the Black Racer has taken out Darkseid more than once and brought about his death. Again, in the Darkseid War, after the Anti-Monitor fused the Black Racer together with the Flash using the anti-life equation and sends him after Darkseid. Darkseid is then killed by the Black Racer along with the Anti-Monitor's blast. So once again, more than one factor at work here, but we can see the Darkseid is definitely killable. Now, speaking of the anti-life equation, while radion is probably the simplest way to kill Darkseid, Darkseid is intent on capturing the anti-life equation. He soon realizes that it's more powerful than he thought, and it could definitely kill him. So I think the coolest way to kill Darkseid would be to use the one thing that he's tried to harness for most of his existence, the anti-life equation. Granted, this would probably be challenging to acquire, but it would be my preferred method of taking him out, as I think it would just be some great poetic justice for him to meet his own. And this is really probably the best instance that we see of Darkseid being killed by the anti-life equation. He was also killed by his daughter Grail, using the equation after she'd resurrected him in the form of a child following his aforementioned death, the hands of the Anti-Monitor and Black Racer. Grail, however, would resurrect her father once again in the form of an infant that she intended to raise. Which leads us to a real problem, which is whatever means are used to kill Darkseid always seems to come back at some point. So really the only way we can prevent this from happening is to eliminate fan interest in the character, because as long as stories where Darkseid is the villain who sells books, he's not going to stay dead permanently. Darkseid has died multiple times, and each time he comes back, because he's just one of the most compelling villains in DC Comics. Killing Darkseid is almost like killing the Joker or killing Batman. Sure, you could do it, but you know he's always going to come back due to his popularity. And with that, we will bring this video to an end. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.